learner. Today we are going to talk about how to take music written for piano and turn it into tabs for ukulele. Now, this is not a beginner lesson. Really, to do this on your own, you're going to need to know how to read music, understand rhythm, and know the fretboard. So you're going to need the ukulele, but very much so your brain and attention span. When you have those three things and you hit subscribe, new Ukulele Wednesday and Saturday, follow me on in and let's break it down. And I put all the videos that will help you with this video linked in the description, as well as a link to my Patreon, as well as the notes where you get printable tabs for this one and all those lessons in the description. If this feels super advanced to you and you're a beginner, I promise I'll do a beginner-friendly video next Wednesday, all right? It's going to discuss melody, rhythm, and complicated melodic rhythms as well. Okay, so I haven't worked this out yet, so let's put it up and let's do it together so I can show you my process. The D minor above the D minor there lets me know that that first chord is a D minor. But you still kind of want to know what the lowest and highest notes are. Now, as you can see from here, there are 4 notes. Bass clef, we don't worry about too much with the ukulele. And if we look at the left side, we have an A in the bass, followed by a... Okay, so we're going to start out, we see we have a D minor. Great, that's perfect, easy. You could figure out those notes, maybe if there's a color tone, but you can also just assume that the harmony is D minor there. Now, if we double check, we have an A in the bass, followed by a D, followed by an F. Those are the 3 notes that make up a D minor. Following this, we have a run. And I'm not going to go too in-depth into how to read music. I'll link a video up here in the notes right now if you want to check that out on how to read music. That's not what this is, but just a quick overview. Each line is a note, each space is a note. The bottom line is E, the top line is F. So you get every good boy deserves fudge. And then the notes in between the lines also have their own acronym, and it's FACE, F-A-C-E. So if it's on the line, for example, if it's on the second line, every good, it's a G note. So we look at that first note in between the G and the E, and we get an F note. Okay, great. Now, those 2 flats over here let us know that any note on that line, the middle line, which is the B, is going to be a B flat, and any note in between the D and the F line is going to be an E, E flat. So all of the B's, all of the E's are E flat. It also tells you the key, okay? Now, first note is an F. You need to find an F. We have Fs all over our fretboard. We have an F on the 5th fret of the C string, 1st fret of the E, and then up here we have an octave above them both, 8th fret here. Now, this is a G string, so you also have an F way up here on the 10th fret. 3 of those are the same. This one is an octave higher. So that will kind of have an effect ultimately on what we choose to do with this lick. F note followed by a note on that first staff, every good boy. It's an E, but it has that symbol next to it, making it what's called an E natural. So even though I just said all E's are going to be E flat, that particular one is going to be an E because of that symbol next to it. You would assume it's an E flat unless you see that symbol and you have an E. So we have F, E, followed by a D. And you can, even though you don't have the staffs and lines below, you can tell what it is because the lower it goes, it will actually continue to write those lines. So you have, followed by that, you have the D note. That's followed by a C natural, and then below that we go down. In between would be the B and then to the A. So we have an A natural followed by a G note. So we have F, E, D, C, A, G. Now, if you're playing with a high G, F, E, D, C, A, G, it jumps up, right? So that's why it'd be better to start this lick up here, F, E, D, C, A, G. Otherwise, if you have a low G, it would work fine there. Now the rhythm, this is connotated as 8th notes. So you count it 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. So playing through that first phrase so far, we get, and finishing on the B flat now, we're going to get 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Now, F, E, D. You have a C here. You have an A here. You could also play it. Don't be afraid. You don't have to always go the whole length of the ukulele. There's overlap for a reason to make it a little easier on yourself. There's a D minor here too as well. There's a D minor up here as well. So once you get the phrase, once you know the notes and the timing, explore a couple different ways to try to play it on the fretboard and find the one that's most comfortable for you. Now here, this is all rhythm. You could work the strumming pattern out, down, up, down, if you wanted to. Or if it's just rhythm and you're playing the ukulele, you could also do any strum pattern you want. This particular one is a shuffle feel, so it's... Now I'm not going to go too far into triplets, but basically that's how you know, because it's 1 pola, 2 pola, 3 pola, 4. If you want more rhythm talks, this is more basically how to turn these phrases and melodies into from piano to ukulele. I'll link that up here as well too. This is an advanced lesson, and at the very least though, if it feels complicated, you know where you need to start. You know where you need to read music, you need to know your fretboard, and you need to study up on rhythm. All of those things are important. Next measure, we start with an F. We use our little harmony thing up there to let us know that. And what we're going to do here is we are going to go down strum and then play it open C. We know that because that's a C note right there. Then we see two notes on top of each other. Well, we have a C note, a natural C, and we have a G. So we get 1, 2, pola. 1, 2, pola. Now this middle one, this triplet's tricky. We're gonna hit that again. But then we have a triplet inside of a triplet. So it's like 1 triplet. Well, I don't even know how you count that. Triplet, triplet. You know, so it's a little tricky here. I would just count the middle triplet as triplet. So I would go triplet, triplet. Now that middle one, A, G, F. You play it a couple different ways. And that's how I think it's the best way. Open A, open high G, F. But if you have a low G, you're gonna need to pull 5 to 3 and slide. So you get slowly, tripola, tripola. Okay, and that C rings out. That's what those ties are for. Those ties are connecting two notes. So the C just keeps ringing out over time, and then at the end of another triplet, you're gonna play open C with an octave up here. So this phrase would be 1, 2 pola, 3 pola, 4 pola, and then you finish on a D minor. So if we put this whole thing together very slowly, we get 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 pola, 2 pola, 3 pola, 4, 1, 2 pola, 3 pola, 4 pola, 1. Time without counting. Accidentally strummed an F instead of a D minor. So that is how you take a piano riff or a piano melody. And so you should have seen both. You should have seen how the lick is how you would treat melody, and the chords is how you would treat rhythm, and the triplets is how you would treat more complicated rhythm. And you just do it phrase by phrase. It's very helpful to have a pen and paper and some blank tabs so you can start to write your tabs in as well. These ideas are advanced, so make sure if you're overwhelmed to check out the process in the description, one by one, how to learn to read music, how to learn and understand rhythm, and how to know the fretboard. You're going to need all three of those things to do this kind of stuff. But with this, you can buy sheet music and turn songs into your own chord melodies, learn melodies, etc. Okay? So that is how you take from piano to ukulele. Thank you so much for watching to the very end. That means if you made it this far, you're an advanced player. You're definitely in my 1% percentile of learners, because this one wasn't easy. Maybe the hardest lesson I've ever done, because you just got to draw on everything. Your playing ability, your rhythm ability, your understanding of music in general, harmony, everything. So I appreciate that. And if you made it this far and you're confused, check out the playlist below. And I promise next Wednesday I'll do something quite a bit easier for you beginners, okay? Let's bid adieu, and I'll catch you Saturday for the next song, Wednesday for the next theory video, Guitar on Mondays.